Welcome to the 86th episode of the Overclocked ZA podcast. Overclocked with all the vowels. I'm Lindsey Schuutters.
And I'm Gavin Dudley.
And we are together again.
Hooray,
physically together,
hooray.
next to each other, diagonally opposite each other, diametrically opposed.
And we're actually we're maskless just for you, dear listener.
Because we're munching pizza also while we're doing this.
But we're talking past each other, not metaphorically, but literally.
Gavin, a lot of news coming out of Media 24 and the formerly DSTV subsidiary Showmax. Showmax Pro is launching, Gavin. What is Showmax Pro? I know what it is.
So it's kind of interesting all this is coming out at once, but for those who don't realize how the South African digital and media landscape works, Naspers, formerly Nasionale Pers, is the biggest single company in South Africa. It's the head of the stock exchange by far. It's a huge, huge company. Most of its money is being made overseas.
And they used to be the propaganda wing of the apartheid government.
Yes and no, we're not allowed to talk about that because we've now kind of washed our brand and changed it from Nasionale Pers, supporter of the National Party, to Naspers,
yes,
a dynamic digital company.
Just more background, when newspapers started going under, when advertising wasn't flowing so nicely, and TV was taking over, they formed a company called MultiChoice, which then took TV money and then distributed it to prop up their physical media like their newspapers and those sorts of things.
And today they are basically owning 30% of Tencent. Tencent, one of the bigger digital companies in the world. That is now worth, where's my figure? It's worth R500 billion, okay? R500 billion, $500 billion, my mistake, $500 billion, okay?
That's a big mistake.
There's a big difference, yeah. Sorry, it's because we skipped ahead. Tencent, a Chinese company that owns WeChat. WeChat is basically WhatsApp for China. Well, it's WhatsApp and Takealot and Uber and a whole lot of things all rolled into one. So it's huge in China, and that was bought for a song 20 years ago by Naspers, and that's turned into a huge cash cow that makes Naspers' local business look really tiny by comparison. Naspers, to people like myself and Lindsey who are in the media industry, is the home of South Africa's premium magazines, newspapers, and so on.
Not anymore.
Well, not anymore. As of this morning, they're busy shuttering and closing magazines left, right, and center, and a couple of minnow newspapers as well. Some of those things they're trying to take online, but 20 years ago, Naspers' media division called Media 24 made big forays into digital with 24.com. Today everybody knows 24.com.
News 24 is the largest media outlet, news media outlet in the country.
It pulls together 20-odd newspapers output, which very few people can do, So they're a huge media company, but I suppose the tech angle is that they pioneered the digital space and basically came to own the digital news space and various others as well.
So they were best set up to launch the video on demand service, which is Showmax, because we just need to skip past the history lesson now, Gavin.
Okay, no, but the context is important. So for example, we all know Takealot.com. Takealot.com was bought by Kalahari.com, which was a Naspers property. It was smaller than Takealot.com, but took it over. So gradually what's happened is Media 24 and Naspers has been moving out of media.
Yeah.
But Lindsey doesn't want us to dwell on that, so we'll skip ahead to Showmax. MultiChoice was its TV division, which everyone knows as DSTV, well, which used to be Mnet, and then DSTV, and SuperSport. These are like the three brands in the stable there. I think it was last year, they spun out the TV division as its own product. And within that is Showmax, which is also supposed to be its own company, but the truth is it's so closely aligned with MultiChoice that it's all the same thing. So Showmax is its internet streaming video division, which has been with us for almost 5 years now, actually. And they just announced today they'll be doing live streaming sport, which is jolly interesting, I think. What do you think, Lindsey?
I think that's awesome. It's the one thing that's been missing from their portfolio. So Showmax Pro bundles in Showmax and everything that you have on there. Then there's music channels, news, and live sports streaming from SuperSport, which will cover all Premier League, Serie A, La Liga, and PSL games, and then MMA through the EFC. I forget what EFC stands for. Oh, I forget. It's gone. And it will start streaming in Nigeria and Kenya immediately, and the rest of us will get it in 8 weeks' time.
Yes, they're rolling it out gradually across sub-Saharan Africa.
We don't know about pricing yet.
No,
Showmax
we
is
don't.
like $100 now, so I imagine this will be $150. It feels like maybe even $200.
It's interesting because it's basically cannibalizing DSTV and SuperSport's core business.
Yeah.
So I think they're probably experimenting to see how this goes, because they can see the writing on the wall that they've been losing DSTV subscribers consistently over the years, and Showmax has been doing reasonably well. So they're looking to make the same transition they made from print publishing into online, looking to make the same transition from satellite broadcasting into internet broadcasting.
The other thing that will probably happen on Showmax Pro, on another South African tech podcast called Reframe, run by Brendan Peterson. He had the communications manager for Showmax on, and they were talking about the device limits on Showmax. So you only can stream
two streams, I think, yeah.
Or like it's two concurrent.
Yeah,
But mobile devices is only one. But you can only have like 5 devices.
Registered, really?
Registered.
Really? I didn't realize there was a limit on that.
So he said, coming soon, we might not be able, like, there might be an offering where you don't have any limitations like that. And I think Showmax Pro is going to be that product as well.
Yeah, I think Netflix has a limit. I think it's 12, if I'm not mistaken. I discovered that Amazon Prime has no limit. I've got dozens and dozens of devices registered there. What that means is that every time you have a new phone or a new tablet, even though you're not using them all at the same time, the service keeps track of how many different devices you've got listed, in case you're, sharing out with your friends and stuff. Okay, so Showmax Pro, live sport is a really big deal. I think it's going to change the marketplace quite a lot.
No rugby, though, which is interesting. So you still need a DSTV Now subscription to get
there's such huge amounts of money tied up in sports broadcasting that it's quite interesting to see how it's going to play out.
But I like it. I like Showmax as a product. I think this is going to be a good offering, especially stepping it up to a premium tier. Their movie delivery has also been quite good. I think they're a week out from when things are airing on DSTV.
Damn, that's impressive. That's impressive.
Which is impressive. And their series, I think, streams at the same time for some of them, depending on the rights agreements. You might have to wait a week to get the latest episode up. But yeah, it's a great offering, and it grows from strength to strength. And I'm sure that they will be really good at doing that and saving their video on demand, or at least have a nice safety net to catch all of those DSTV subscribers.
I mean, I think they're also looking at economic hardship that's really starting to settle down on the country, and over the next 3 or 4 months that economic hardship is going to get much more harsh, rest assured. Not just losing their jobs, but people seeing cutbacks in business, cutbacks in salaries, and as a result all luxury items like satellite subscriptions are the kind of things that are first to go. Okay,
Gavin, moving on, we mentioned it briefly last week, but Nedbank is doing a tap on phone. So you have the inside line on this. I didn't even know it was a thing.
So tapping. We've discussed tapping to pay on this channel many times, especially since my card refuses to tap on anything to pay. Lindsey just taps all the time. He taps with his phone, he taps with his card. I'm sure he even taps with his Fitbit watch. He taps with everything. I can't tap with anything. None of my tapping works. Now, Nedbank has a new system. Instead of having to tap your card or your watch or your phone or whatever onto the point of sale credit card machine, you can now tap your phone, your watch, your card onto another phone. And the phone will run an app that makes it work like the bank card machine. So the phone, which has NFC in it, NFC, near field communication, is the weak radio wave signals that they use to communicate with each other. When you bring 2 NFC devices together, they exchange information, and it's a fairly secure way of doing it. And now you can do that with another phone. So if you're someone who's selling stuff at a market or informally or whatever, you no longer have to have a bank machine of any kind. You can run the entire thing now through your phone. It's in a pilot phase, so I hope this works out, because I really believe that the small business and informal sector in South Africa is a really important business environment.
I'm really happy that it happened with Nedbank, because when last have you seen a Nedbank ATM, Gavin?
Also true. They are by far the smallest of the big 4 or 5.
Other important thing is Capitec, who might be their biggest competitor in that low end. Well, I can't say low end because there's a lot of rich people who are banking with Capitec because their prices are so cheap.
So good. The services are good.
Our kids both have Nedbank accounts. They
mine
have
too.
Great offerings.
Yeah, mine too. For the same reason.
Where if you transfer the money, it gives you R2.
Okay,
There's
I'm not
some
sure.
Interesting pure save.
My kids are all over the internet with their damn Capitec accounts, which is quite interesting as well. It means that they've got the full suite of services
My kids
running.
With Nedbank. Anyway, Capitec are looking at 70% reduction in revenues for 2020. And they're hoping, they're praying, they're saying that they expect to make all of that back in 2021. I don't think so.
They've been flying really high for a really long time.
And then COVID happened.
Yes, and then COVID happened. Thing is, they've been really pushing the digitization of their service. So even though people would flock into their branches and would be really good, they've been very good about apps and things like that on the phones, and they keep the service simple and so on. So the other thing is they do loan money, but not, I think, on the scale that Standard Bank and these people loan. So I think Capitec have loaned out a lot of people money, but not huge sums, I don't think.
Yeah, but
so it looks bad, but they might recover.
They're saying they are upping the criteria for their loans.
They have to, yeah.
For the rest of the year.
Yeah, they will have to.
Because it's just, they're getting a, what is it? I forget what, it's like a fancy term for, like, they're getting a lot of defaults.
Yeah. People unable to pay. Okay, but we're getting a little bit in the weeds because we're now talking about banking.
I like banking technology because it's something that really it affects you on a street level.
Sure. It's like a real thing.
Like the Yoko machine at this coffee shop.
Yoko is an amazing
like when
service.
Yoko brought the tap-to-pay versions on. Like now you have these outlets who can serve you from a distance and like, here, just take this machine.
We
sanitized it, and you just follow the prompts on there.
And the person in the store doesn't have to touch anything that you've touched. Yeah, it's very clever.
So I dig that, and like the tap-to-pay things is important. I like the fact that Checkers have now also signed up with MasterPass, so the code payments. I haven't got the codes to work. Like the transactions that Pick and Pay happen too quickly, where it's like suddenly you have to tap on the thing, and before I can ask them, can I use MasterPass?
Yeah. Okay,
and,
I see what
the
you're saying.
pet shop that we go to as well, they use MasterPass, but I see they've hidden their MasterPass QR
the little
code,
sign thing,
like behind something else. We were there yesterday.
Man,
but I'm just all about.
Lindsey's all about that tapping life, man. And me, I'm just looking on. I'm looking on, going, one day I'll be able to tap.
Dude,
when can I tap into fintech? Is what I'm asking myself.
We had our first McDonald's drive-through meal
with a tap.
Like since lockdown.
Okay, right.
Like over 100 days. And me and the kids in the drive-through, and I had cash. It was just a couple of ice creams that we bought. And I wasn't going to tap that.
Okay.
I had cash.
Right.
And the look on the woman's face when
don't bring that near me. Unclean.
But anyway.
Okay.
Moving on. Other things, yes. Just to go back, just walk back a little bit. Media 24 is cutting 510 jobs from their magazine departments, closing down magazines. My heart goes out to all of those journalists who are now without jobs. It's a very sad time. Please support your independent content creators. Support people and not brands, because these are people's livelihoods.
Okay, interesting. So, I mean, I guess the tech angle on this is that the damage could have been much worse. What they're doing with some of their big publications is basically turning them into internet-only publications. Magazines like Drum, for example, which have been a cornerstone of South African media industry, is now online only.
Yeah.
A lot of magazines are just closing outright. Men's Health, Women's Health, both of which had reasonable online offerings, just disappearing overnight.
Yeah, and they both like brands. Like Women's Health had that Fit Night Out thing.
Yeah, I mean, there was a time when Men's Health bestrode the industry like a colossus. What the hell happened? You know,
and fashion shows, all sorts of things.
Yeah, that's Lindsey and I both
Men's Health alums.
Alumni from Men's Health back in the day. So a lot of women's magazines are being outsourced. So I guess that just makes it easier for them to jettison the stuff down the line, you know?
Gavin,
yes.
And for people who are a little bit short on money right now but need to upgrade their hardware, you are playing with a fancy-looking lower-end device. It's from a brand called Tecno. I was there in India with them a year ago, almost to the day, for the launch of a device. Gavin, tell us about your 3,000 Rand Android phone.
Right. You know me, I love my low-end Androids. This phone is doing absolutely everything for me. I just don't understand who's spending 20,000 Rand on a phone. I have a 3,000 Rand phone that is absolutely delighting me, this Tecno Camon 12, C-A-M-O-N, Camon 12. Tecno, T-E-C-N-O.
I could make a really dirty
12.
joke right now, but I won't.
Yes, so don't. It's there waiting to happen. It's sort of lost in the Chinese translation thing as usual. Fantastic screen, nice big 6.5-inch screen. I mean, where
Android
in a million
9
years?
though. Android 9.
But you know, who the hell knows the difference between 9 and 10? I mean, I barely can see the difference.
The swipey gestures, I wish I had them.
I hate the swipey gestures. I've only just got used to using them. Anyway, so to get a 6.5-inch screen at 3,000 Rand, no one would have thought that was possible 2 or 3 years ago. extraordinary. Not a huge amount of storage, 64 gig, but decent. 4 gigabytes of RAM is extremely generous at 3,000 Rand. And even the camera system, it's only 16 megapixel, but I've discovered it's doing great things. The AI is working out for me and so on. 3,000 Rand, great phone, superb screen. Unfortunately, it's also stuffed full of Tecno, what I call crapware. This is all the software it adds into the phone, which it thinks is giving you a great experience, but actually it's just getting in your way at every turn. They're never going to succeed if they keep stuffing the phone with crapware like this.
That's what you're going to get with Chinese brands.
No, but Huawei took a long time to figure out that this does not play globally. They figured it out eventually.
But now they have to, because that's the only services they can use.
Yeah, shame.
I'm sorry for laughing.
He's sniggering.
I'm sorry for laughing. I'm still waiting for my P40 Pro.
Okay, and he's
P40
all
reviewing it.
Huawei, if you're listening, he's all embittered about it. Please, I can't deal with him when he gets like this.
Waiting to get my hands on that world-leading camera technology and put it through its paces.
Right.
One day I will have it. Moving on, Gavin. So now you got the phone. You're setting up your business. You need a business line. One of your friends, Anton Potgieter.
Well, I think more of an acquaintance is probably closer to the point. We went to school together, that's about it. Yeah.
He is starting this thing called Scotty Business Line. It is available for Android users right now in the Play Store. It effectively gives you, it's coming to iOS soon, it effectively gives you a second number, which you can use as a business number, and it's billed separately. And when you use the Scotty app, it brings you up a second dialer, and it works over your current network connection, but is completely separate. You're paying 79 cents per minute. It gives you detailed call logging, and it's very tax efficient, so you can just move over all those call logs and everything and pay it off with your business account and claim it from tax.
I think businesses have really struggled to separate out personal calls from business calls. And increasingly companies don't want to give you a business phone that they're paying for when you're using it for all sorts of things. This way you can actually silo or ring fence, as they say, your business interactions. If you're a sales manager, you can actually track who is calling, making sales calls, and so on, and who's not doing their job properly. You can track all the calls with a whole degree of detail. I think 79 cents a minute's probably a bit rich.
Yeah.
I'm sure, on a regular contract it'd be worth much, much less than that. But we'll see how this goes. The important thing is that you can split off your business calls from your personal calls on your phone. That's the basic function.
Yeah, I worry about, because there's such a lot of data. Well, they say they use 5 megabytes per month on the Scotty app. I was just reading through the notes on the Play Store. The biggest problem that I can see is possible security breaches or that data breaches, because I don't know what servers they're running, what encryption that they're doing on their side.
Okay, you mean the routing of the calls could be intercepted.
Yeah.
Okay,
so,
interesting.
For business use, starting this for business use, maybe, I don't know, I'll still use a VPN.
Right.
And that's pretty much all we have to say about that.
So the service is called Scotty. It's currently an Android app, but apparently the iOS version is in the works.
Scotty Business Line.
And you're paying 79 cents a minute for your business calls separately.
Gavin, there was pricing on the PS5. So I just need to say something. I got a WhatsApp message from a good friend of mine who says that he uses his PS4 as his primary interface for his, like a smart box.
Yes,
for his TV, so you watch Netflix
that
on
for a while.
And all sorts of things. Was touting that he can watch 4K Netflix and 4K YouTube, and I can't do that on my Apple TV.
Because you don't have a 4K one.
Yes, because I don't have 4K, and YouTube doesn't play in 4K on Apple TV yet. Even on the 4K.
Okay, so no 4K for you.
In the future, they've cleaned up the situation that they've had.
Okay.
So PS5 will cost is this $499 for the full powered one?
Yeah, the full one with the drive. Yeah.
And
so there are
that's
two
dollars.
Yeah. $500, which is the equivalent of 9,000 Rand.
Yeah, plus import taxes and everything. We're probably looking at like 10.5, 11.
Yeah.
It feels like an 11.
And it'll be by far and away the most expensive console we've ever had. Of course, they're producing a digital edition one. The only difference being it doesn't have the optical drive, the drive for the discs in it, with a slight reduction there, maybe $100 off. But it's still going to be a 10,000 Rand plus proposition in the end.
Xbox X launching on the 23rd of July. They have set a date for their launch.
I'm very skeptical about these launch dates. I think, there's so much going on. I suppose...
Well, not launching, they reveal their big...
Oh, okay.
Because remember, they've just shown us kind of like a silhouette picture.
Yes. Yeah,
so
true.
they are doing
and
the big
limited
reveal,
gameplay and stuff.
in obviously a live stream. that's happening. And then there was an interesting live stream that happened last week. I don't think I saw you on it. It was the One Life Insurance.
Yes, no, I missed the Samsung thing. Yeah, I missed it. Yeah, something
that
else
was
going
quite
on.
interesting. So if you sign up for the One Life Pulse life insurance,
Right.
I think you must thingy for like R1 million or something, R1 million worth of cover. You get a Samsung Galaxy Watch Active 2 as part of it, and then your payout increases in proportion to like the fitness, your physical investment, like your lifestyle investment.
You mean you pay less if you're doing more?
No, you get more as a
okay.
payout. So you still pay your same premium.
I see.
But
the payout goes
the
up
value of your life insurance.
if the watch is tracking your healthy lifestyle.
Yes. So
I see.
A lot of the tech is done through, I forget what the interfacing app is called.
So these are the LifeQ people.
Yes, but
Rian,
LifeQ
what's his name?
Rian Conradi. He's not
Conradi.
actually affiliated with the business anymore.
Oh, I
He's
see.
moved on to other things.
That's
There's a different
interesting.
CEO.
Oh, interesting.
But the last time I spoke to him, which was probably about 2 years ago, or at least a year ago.
He was the
last
founder,
time
yeah.
Yes, he was the founder. Stellenbosch alum.
Yeah.
LifeQ grew out to Stellenbosch
Yeah.
University's incubator hub. I forget what it's called. I'm losing all of my knowledge here, Gavin. I'm getting older.
Yeah, I mean, he was instrumental in providing a lot of the underlying sensor technology for Garmin, and even for I'm also losing it now. It's infectious.
Schuutters moved over to a LifeQ sensor now as well.
Okay.
They've moved away from
TomTom. He did work with TomTom and Garmin. All these people, as they were developing their smartwatch offerings with sensors in to tell you what was going on, his research was instrumental to all that.
Yeah, so that they've obviously optimized all the hardware that can then feed the correct data to this app, and then that is interfaced with the life insurance. So you're getting more life insurance cover, the more personal investment that you're making on your life, like your physical well-being, it will now actually be paid out or reflected as your value on your life, which I think is a great.
But the whole point of life insurance is to benefit people after yourself, right?
Exactly.
Because you're dead.
But you want to get paid out what you're worth, Gavin. And if I'm running my body like a lean, mean supercar, I want my wife to be compensated with supercar money.
You're very confident that your wife's going to outlive you. Obviously,
I'm hoping that I've done enough damage to my body to not make it much past 70.
Myself, I'm definitely in that camp as well. Yeah. Interesting. Okay, so this only works with this particular insurance package.
Yes.
Okay.
In future, I think this will roll out to other devices that have the same hardware.
Okay.
Because the data is packaged.
So the measuring just has to be consistent for the insurance company to be able to make the offer.
Yes.
The measuring has to be consistent across multiple devices.
I like this because Samsung is now they're just unassailable lead now in terms of innovation when it comes to like customer-facing innovation.
You mean specifically on health things, or
on health things, on Samsung Pay, just on like convenience things like that add tangible value to your life if you can afford the hardware, obviously.
But I mean, the Samsung wearables are not making a huge impact on the market. I
No,
mean,
they're not.
Apple is still streets ahead. Garmin, I would say, is probably coming in second. I think Xiaomi is a big player in the wearables. Samsung's a little bit nowhere on the wearables. They might have great products, but in terms of numbers,
deals, man.
yeah, but in terms of numbers,
deals.
they're just not there. I mean, I believe in their products. It's just, not there in sales, I don't think. Although we do believe in their headphones. Okay. So Rian Conradi, the founder of, I think it was called HealthQ at the time. HealthQ had a few divisions, of which LifeQ is one.
Yeah.
He actually was, when we interviewed him for Tech Magazine, he was in the midst of developing a system for measuring stress, just through a sensor in the watch.
Yes, I did that interview.
Yeah, that's right. Measuring stress, which was very difficult at the time because you had to measure like electrostatic things and blood flow and all sorts of things. And I see stress is now a measurement in a few Garmins and so on. I think it has a way to go to be refined and to be more accurate. But it's interesting they're trying to do that. I think health companies, Discovery Health and whatever else, are very interested in knowing about people's stress levels. Understandably so.
The unicorn that they're chasing right now actually is non-invasive blood sugar testing.
Yeah.
So for like diabetics and that thing,
Yeah.
so reading it through your sweat and that. That's the frontier.
Someone who launched a phone now with ECG in it?
Well, ECG is in the iPhone,
Yes,
the
yes.
Apple Watch.
Yeah,
The
but
Apple
somebody
Watch,
else did
and
it.
then the new Samsungs as well, the Watch Active 2.
I
also
wonder if it's the new Huawei, the 2E, Watch 2E,
I
GT2E.
forget. I
Okay,
forget.
anyway. Okay.
Huawei still has
Moving
some
on.
ways to go in terms. Like, it's a great product. I love the battery life on those products.
I'm a huge fan of the Huawei Watch GT series. Won't live without it, can't live without it. Yeah.
Wearing it right now.
Wearing it right
as
now.
I'm wearing my Fitbit.
Okay. You're long in the tooth Fitbit. Gosh,
Fitbit
that
Ionic,
Fitbit's
yeah.
just hanging on by the skin of its
I
teeth
haven't put
there.
out a replacement for it.
Yeah.
I'm looking at their Charge 4 though. Their Charge 4 looks nice, but I'm very interested in
But
getting.
you got used to your smartwatch, your basic smartwatch functions.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I am eyeing up when it eventually comes here for a price that is not 10,500 rand. The
Outrageous.
Casio G-Shock.
Yeah, Casio is
the-
getting its stuff together, I've
The
noticed.
GBH H1000, which is a activity tracker watch, G-Shock watch. with
GBH
G-Shock
is
cover.
most unfortunate, as in grievous bodily harm.
Oh
I
my
think it is.
goodness.
Okay.
It has a optical heart rate sensor and GPS all inside it.
Casio finally catching up with the rest of the world.
So all I want is a rock hard
G-Shock.
G-Shock
Yeah.
that can do all the things so I can wear G-Shock at all times.
Yeah, I mean, the G-Shock, it had a 10 plus 10 plus 10. I don't know if you know the 10 plus 10 plus
Yeah.
10 story. So it's waterproof to 10 meters. It's... I can't remember how it works now. There are 3 10s. Yeah, okay, I'll remember it
Yeah.
later. Okay, keep going.
Yeah, no, that's a great thing to look for because I have a G-Shock watch at home, a just basic G5600. So that's like the squarish one, but I have the black on black.
Yeah.
So the BB.
They're not cheap,
and then I got
those, eh?
the
They're not cheap,
Fitbit
those.
Ultra HR to then wear on my right wrist so I can at least get call notifications and have my heart rate and sleep and all that monitored while I wear my Casio on my left. And then my wife didn't want the Ionic, so she took the Ultra HR and just completely ruined my
Your
plans.
plan.
And now my Casio is sitting in my drawer, and every time I take it out, I'm like, I wish you could do smart things. I really wish you could.
Okay.
But Gavin, yeah, we are running out of time.
Yeah,
I
but-
know you have an appointment
I
in
do.
a little bit.
I do.
This has been fun. I
Yeah,
like
yeah,
this.
yeah, yeah,
This
yeah.
has been really good.
We're nearly back. We're nearly back.
We're nearly back. We're breathing the same air.
Yeah.
Obviously, all social distancing protocols are being observed. Yeah, that's my story. I'm Lindsey Schuutters, Sharpshooters on social media. That Opinion Guy on the internet, thatopinionguy.co.za is the website. And yeah, there's a lot of things going up there. I did a whole spiel about pornography
Ooh.
in the wake of the Pornhub little scandal, which is now hashtag trafficking hub. They've been
Okay.
exposed as a
Right.
sex trafficking, as promoting sex
I missed
trafficking.
that. Okay.
Yeah, it went a bit under the radar. My wife challenged me for not having an opinion on it, and so I put
Okay.
my opinion out on it. And then my Lenovo IdeaPad C340, which is also the Lenovo Flex 14, which is also like they've just done so many things with that one machine. It's called so many things around the world. That review is going up on the YouTube channel,
Right.
That Opinion Guy as well. Gavin, what's happening in your life?
Not a whole lot to report. If you want to challenge yourself socially, go and read J.K. Rowling's little memo, which is a bit more of an essay really, on transgender issues. You think you know where you stand on transgender issues. Why don't you go and read J.K. Rowling's statement on the subject? Quite interesting, I found. On the tech front, not a whole lot to report. We're dealing with lots and lots of pairs of in-ear buds, specifically those from Skull Candy. They've got a couple of different pairs out, and we're unfortunately having to measure them up against Sennheiser, who is hands down the sound quality leader. But you know, true wireless buds. These are the buds that have no interconnecting cable. It's the new thing.
And you have the AirPods Pro?
Yeah, I don't have the AirPods Pro, nor am I planning to have the AirPods Pro, because Apple does to me what Huawei does to you. Doesn't like them, doesn't trust them. That's my whole story, I'm afraid. We'll be coming back at you with proper tips and how-tos and shopping advice in the next episode when we're slightly better prepared.
Cool.
All right.
That's it. Cheers.
Bye.